Today I fucked up by masturbating too hard, which led to having surgery. Obligatory. This didn't happen today, but when I was in the 8th grade. 8th grade was about the first time I discovered what masturbating was, give or take a few years. Whatever year they show the Birds and the Bees movie at school, well, needless to say, I was all for it. I think I did it just about every day after school. And I was getting pretty good at it, let me tell you. One day in particular though, I wanted to see how fast I could do the deed. So after school I ran off the bus and went straight to the bathroom and pulled out my stopwatch. I counted down from 3 and went full speed. Let's just say I was a little too rough with my ding. After I beat my record time, there was this strange tightness in my nether realm that was different from all the other times I had spatushed. I just assumed I over/heated the poor thing and needed to let it rest, so I laid down on my bed to take a nap. The tightness never went away, so I had a hard time falling asleep. The tightness moved up and started to turn into a stomach ache, then a nauseous feeling, then a constant pain that felt like a burning cramp in my lower stomach area. I was groaning in pain and trying to not to cry when my parents came in my room asking what was wrong. I told them that my stomach hurt really bad. I failed to mention that my dangly bits hurt a little bit too, so my dad, being the classic Mexican dad that he is, just said, just drink this 7-Up and take some Tums and you'll be fine in no time. Unsurprisingly, that did not fix my pain at all. 10 minutes go by and my mom looks at me tossing and turning and says, that's it, I can't take it anymore. We're going to the hospital. Oh my Lanta. Talk about the worst 30 minutes car ride of my life. Every bump sent a new sharp pain through my body. I thought I was going to pass out from the pain. This was my new worst pain of my life. We eventually get to the hospital and get in to see a doctor. I tell him that there are sharp pains in my stomach that won't go away. I didn't tell them about my downstairs hurting too because, well, 8th grade me was too embarrassed and didn't want people looking at my dingle/dangle. So they run every stomach test in the book and wouldn't you know it, they don't find anything. At this point it's been 2/3 hours since I got there, so I say screw it and I finally muster up the courage to whisper to me mum, hey mom, my balls hurt too kinda. Right away she yells, why didn't you say something? Then she calls a nurse to take a look. The nurse lady comes in and says that it might be testicular torsion, then proceeds to put on gloves, tells me to hold on tight, then manhandles my beanbags. For those who don't know, testicular torsion is when one of your nuts literally turns around in your sack and is backwards. So this lady is trying to turn it back around with her hands. I scream in pain. Now, I would never hit a woman in my life, but I would be lying if told you I didn't raise my hand and was about to slap that bitch. Haha. Remember when I said the car ride was the worst pain of my life? Well, this one was my new worst pain of my life. Anyway, my right nut ended up winning the wrestling match, so they prepped me to surgically turn it back that way it was. The surgery was quick and I didn't have a lot of pain afterwards. They went in there, twisted it back, and wired it in place so it doesn't turn again. I just had to wear a jock strap stuffed with gauze for about 3 days, then I was back to normal. Well, because Righty decided to take a left turn at Albuquerque, the veins that were connected to him got twisted, thus stopping any blood flow that was trying to reach him. This means Righty shrunk. Like a lot. Let's just say Lefty towers over the little guy now. Could be worse, though. The doctor said 30 more minutes and I would have lost him. I ended up making the mistake of telling my friends about the shrinkage, which resulted in some nice nicknames for my twins. Rob and Big, Drive, Evil and Mini-Me, Pinky, and the Brain are some of my favorites. Lol. Lesson to be learned here, some things are meant to be taken slow. Too long didn't read, wanted to masturbate really fast, twisted a nut, got surgery, now have 5 sperm balloons. Edit, thank you for the gold, kind stranger. Glad my story could make your day. Smile? Congratulations, /you/Raven8. This post has been voted on our community Discord channel as the fuck up of the week. There was this strange tightness in my nether realm. So sometimes I get these cramps in the groin region. Usually from doing random things, maybe jumped weird or pissed at a weird angle. Now I will constantly live in fear of losing half a nut whenever I get a cramping feeling there. Sadly, I had this happen to me at the tender age of 12. Worst pain I have ever felt in my life. Unfortunately for my lefty, he didn't make it and actually died from the torsion. One nutted wonder I am. Still managed to have 2 kids with my ex. The old 2-for-1 special Lamau. Yikes. Testicular torsion is something I wouldn't wish on anybody. Except for you, for the purposes of retelling this wonderful story. I appreciate that. Smile? They told us in medical school this could happen to young men from physical activity or sports. Now I know the real deal. Thanks op. Today I fucked up by smoking on my apartment balcony. This happened Saturday and was without question the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my life. This is long and will have a too long didn't read at the bottom. Saturday night my GF and I had my parents over for a game night. We just moved into our new place last week Monday and wanted them to see it. We were waiting on my brother who was running late, so I decided to have a smoke on my balcony. Everything is normal for the first few minutes. I'm just playing some free game I've spent way too much money on and not aware at all of my surrounding. Then it happened. A bug flew in my ear. Now this happens occasionally. A bug will fly and hit my ear and be on its way, but this little bastard decided my ear was going to be its new home and dug deep. I immediately lost all semblance of self-control and flung my phone and the chair I was sitting on and sprinted into the apartment while freaking out. The bug was digging or chewing and vibrating, and that sound and feeling against your eardrum has to be the worst thing you can ever experience. My GF freezes. My father tells me to get in the shower and just fill my ear with water. I'm helpless at this point, so I just follow my dad's instructions. The bug did not like the water. It dug deeper. The noise and feeling got worse. I used a tip to try to dig it out. All I got was blood. My father took a used water bottle from my recycling, poked a hole in the cap and used that to try to directly flush the bug. Nothing but more digging and moving. I am literally screaming every time it moves. Both from the pain and the disgusting feeling I got when I felt it. My mother at this point takes off to run to a store to grab something she thinks will help. I barely notice she leaves, but I hope to God she will save me. In the meantime, my GF reads that a couple of drops of vegetable oil can suffocate the bug. So my dad opens our brand new bottle of oil and dumps it in my ear. At this point my entire body is covered in oil. I could have used concrete as a slip and slide. I'm naked in my shower with a bug in my ear, topped off with oil, holding the shower curtain over my crotch, trying to keep some bit of modesty, all while freaking out at the chewing next to my brain. The oil does nothing but piss it off. We are talking about going to the hospital when my mother returns. She has what looks like the top of a turkey baster. Apparently this is something used to suck out boogers from babies' noses. My father tries to use it at first because my limbs no longer work. He doesn't go deep enough because he doesn't want to pop my eardrum. I didn't care at that point because the bug was using it as an actual drum already, so I managed to regain use of my arm, grabbed the thing and jammed it in my ear. It sucks the bug, but it's too big to get it out. Too heavy for it to hold onto. My GF then fills it with water and suggests I use that to flush the bug. After 4 attempts, I finally feel some relief. I look down on my chest and see something far bigger than I expected. At this point I'm too freaked out to look closely and yell for her to look. She freaks because it's a moth. A good size moth. I again nearly shit myself and rinse it off. I cannot do justice to this event in words. I cannot accurately describe the noise, the feeling, the horror of this. Picture it yourselves. Imagine you have a dime-sized bug in your ear, scratching, biting, chewing, digging. Then realize it actually feels worse than that. If this was punishment for committing crimes, we would no longer need jails. One day with a bug in your ear would be enough punishment for murder, and I can promise you they wouldn't do it again. I'd rather be waterboarded while listening to Barney on a loop. Those terrorists had it easy. I now wear my girlfriend's bright pink Beats headphones out while smoking and am strongly considering quitting. It shook me that much. Too long didn't read, a bug flew in my ear while I was smoking. Stayed in there for half an hour while I tried everything conceivable to get it out. I finally did. It was more horrific than you can imagine. Edit, I've tried to keep up with the comments, so I'll answer some of them here. I'm still flushing my ear regularly with peroxide. This morning I still found what I think is moth wing residue. I've made an appointment with my primary doctor for 1:30 this afternoon, Eastern Time Zone US. I'll keep you posted on the egg situation, haha. I'm now smoking a lot less and mostly when I'm driving. I feel like God would be after me if a bug managed to find its way in my ear driving down the road with the window down only a few inches. I didn't expect this to blow up, but to everyone commenting saying it happened to them, I'm sorry. I feel your pain. To those saying moths don't bite, I'm not exactly a bug expert. All I know is the feeling, the sound, the blood. It was doing something in there that I'd really rather never experience again. It's truly an indescribable feeling and one I hope you never have to experience. So something very similar happened to me in college, and I can back you up that it's the worst thing that ever happened to me. I was sitting at my favorite spot near the lake on campus, just relaxing and enjoying the nice day, when I feel something fly into my ear. Like you, I immediately and violently freaked out. I could hear it buzzing and feel it moving, and I'm just sobbing. I collect myself enough to take the bus to the infirmary on campus. Just silent tears streaming down my face the entire bus ride, with some random twitches as the beast moves inside my head. Other students are avoiding me, probably thinking I'm having a mental breakdown or on drugs. Once at the infirmary, they flush my ear and drown the creature. From within my head, I hear a high-pitched shriek. Literally, it had a death scream. I could have gone my whole life without hearing an insect death scream, but I guess we all have our crosses to carry. It turned out to be one of those flying ants. I'm still traumatized and I hear the scream in my nightmares. I'll never unhear it vibrating trying to fly. And dig or chew or whatever it did to bloody me up. Holy shit, is this an interesting today I fucked up that doesn't involve sex for once. What a glorious day. Well, the moth could have laid eggs, so maybe. I have an irrational fear of moths and this post didn't help. At all. Mine's now a completely rational fear. Well, now I've got a new fear. It's always nice to broaden your horizons. I did some digging, pun intended, and it turns out it's not as uncommon as I thought. All aboard the Nope train, with stops in hell and no. Today I fucked up by using coconut oil as a moisturizer after shaving. NSFW. Last night I was in the shower shaving as usual, and I decided to try coconut oil as a moisturizer after shaving my bikini line and private parts. My skin is extremely sensitive and shaving it makes it worse, so I'm constantly trying new ways to stop the irritation. I had the great idea of trying out coconut oil as a moisturizer. I had bought some that day and it seemed to work fine. I leave the shower and go to bed with my husband. As we lay in bed, one thing leads to another and we end up having sex. Everything is great and I feel nice and moisturized until my husband starts complaining about his penis burning. He starts freaking out and the skin on his penis got bright red. He freaks out and goes to the shower to rinse his penis with cold water. The pain just got worse for him, and I quickly drove him to the hospital. He was practically crying in pain. He had developed small red blisters all over his penis and the skin around it. We were both freaking out and I explained to the doctors everything that had happened. Well, it turns out my husband is allergic to coconuts and had a severe skin reaction to the coconut oil I used as a moisturizer. He is now in bed resting with a sore penis and a severe coconut phobia. So if anyone has any tips for a new moisturizer, let me know. Too long didn't read. I used coconut oil as a moisturizer before having sex with my husband. He had a severe skin reaction to it, and developed burning blisters on his penis. Edit, wow, this is crazy, thank you for all the awards. Especially the golden coconuts, very fitting. I'm glad my husband's suffering has brought you joy. He is having a great time reading all the comments while his penis blisters heal. And thank you for all the shaving and moisturizing advice, all your tips are appreciated. Maybe you/coconut throwaway 69 might be a more compatible partner. I regret reading that story and soon my husband will as well. If you like pina coladas, and your dick is in pain, more coconut amirite. At least you know he's never put his dick in a coconut. Glass half full fight there. Aloe vera, like the real deal, not the after sun gel, was a lifesaver for me. I got a bottle of the pure stuff off of Amazon for my irritated scalp and it's wonderful. I also use tea tree water from Lush for when I shave my head, it reduces razor burn so well without being way too potent. I would try the aloe first, toe. Hope it helps. You could also get an aloe plant. Anytime you need some aloe, break off a small section of the leaves and you'll have pure aloe. Great for skin irritations and sunburns.